All right, let's talk about resilience, but not in that, abstract, fluffy kind of way. Today, we're actually opening up a toolkit. We're going to build what I think is the single most important skill you can have in this crazy modern world, a truly unbreakable core. So, you ready? Let's dive in.
Our world really does feel like a constant storm, doesn't it? It's volatile, it's uncertain, it's just a lot. The daily pressures, the speed of everything, and this quote, it just nails a crucial truth about how we navigate all of it.
So what's the goal here? It's not about becoming rigid or some unfeeling robot, and it's definitely not about being weak. It's about becoming both flexible and strong. It's about learning how to bend so you don't break. And here's the best part. Resilience isn't some gift you're either born with or you're not. Nope, it's a muscle. And today, we're heading to the gym.
So here's our game plan. We're going to move through 4 core modules, starting from the inside and working our way out. Each one is a new tool for that resilience toolkit we're building. First up, we're laying the foundation, rewiring that story you tell yourself. All right, let's jump right into Module 1. And this is the absolute bedrock. Why? Because the most important battles you will ever fight are the ones that happen right between your ears. Your internal narrative? Well, that's the operating system for your entire life.
Just imagine this for a second. It's 4:55 p.m. on a Thursday. You're just about to shut down for the day, and then, boom, this email from your boss hits your inbox. Feel that? That immediate pit in your stomach, that jolt of adrenaline? Yeah, that's what we're talking about.
So in that split second, what's the story your brain instantly starts telling you? For most of us, it's a complete catastrophe, right? Oh no, I messed up. The project's on fire. I'm about to get fired. We call this catastrophic thinking, and it is an absolute resilience killer. It throws you into a state of panic before you have a single shred of evidence.
So how do we take back control from that panic spiral? It's a surprisingly simple 3-step process. First, you just recognize the story. You see it for what it is, without judgment. Ah, there's that old I'm in trouble story. Second, you interrogate it. Be a detective. What are the actual facts here? Could there be, 10 other reasons for this email? And finally, you consciously, intentionally rewrite the story.
And this is what that rewritten narrative sounds like. See the difference? It's huge. You go from a state of pure panic to a state of calm preparedness. This isn't just about positive thinking, it's about accurate thinking. You're taking back the controls. So now that we've started to manage our inner world, let's talk about our outward reactions. Okay, on to Module 2, regulating our emotions in the heat of the moment. If your internal story is the foundation, think of this as your emotional armor. Look, emotions are fantastic data, but they are terrible bosses. Emotional regulation is the armor that keeps you from letting those feelings take the wheel. And this is where it gets super practical. Let's say a colleague, totally frustrated, slams the door. Your ancient primitive brain instantly wants to match that energy, right? Fight or flight. Instead, you've got this 3-step formula. 1, you make a conscious choice not to mirror their anger. 2, you physically lower the tone and volume of your own voice. And 3, you use a question to pull both of you out of the emotional brain and into the rational one.
This, right here, is the superpower, creating a gap. That tiny little pause between what happens, the door slam, and how you respond. That pause is where your power lies. A great way to build this muscle is to create a physical trigger, something simple like touching your thumb to your pointer finger. If you practice that when the stakes are low, your body will know exactly what to do when the pressure is on. It'll create that crucial gap for you. Of course, all this mental and emotional work is basically impossible if you are running on empty. And that brings us to Module 3, your energy. This is the fuel for everything else. You just cannot draw water from an empty well. I mean it. Resilience is profoundly physical. If you are drained, your brain will default to its worst, most reactive self every single time. You know that old idea of work-life balance? Let's just throw that out for a second. I want you to think in terms of energy management. We have to be really intentional about recharging these 4 key energy batteries, because if one of them goes down, trust me, it starts draining all the others with it. And it all starts with physical energy. This is the foundation. It is non-negotiable. And here are 2 dead simple actions to protect it. First, set an alarm to go to bed, not just to wake up. Game changer. And second, actually schedule short walks into your calendar like they are critical meetings. Because honestly,
they are.
Okay, your body's fueled up. Now we've got to protect our mental energy. We lose so much of this to constant distractions and the myth that we can actually multitask. The best antidote, block out 90-minute chunks in your day for deep, focused, single tasking. And at the end of the day, give your brain the gift of closure with a shutdown ritual. Just write down what's left to do tomorrow and then actually say out loud, "Workday is done."
Next up is our emotional gas tank, which gets so easily drained by negativity and conflict. The absolute simplest way to refill it? A daily gratitude practice. And be specific. Name 3 actual things. This literally rewires your brain to scan for the positive. And just as crucial, be a ruthless protector of your time. Intentionally schedule it with people who fill you up, not the ones who drain you.
And finally, we have spiritual energy. Now hold on, this isn't necessarily about religion. It's all about purpose. The great news is you don't have to go find the grand meaning of life. Just find your micro-purpose. And you can do that by asking one simple, powerful question. Who needs my best self today? Your kids? Your team? Your client? That why will give you the fuel to get through almost any what.
So, we've worked on our internal story, our emotional armor, and our energy engine. That brings us to the final and maybe most important piece of the puzzle, your compass. This is what helps you adapt and grow. Because the ultimate goal of resilience isn't just to bounce back to where you were before, it's to bounce forward.
Let's use the scenario we can all probably relate to. You get this email. You went for a big promotion. You were so sure you had it in the bag, and then you get this. It is a professional gut punch, a real setback.
So, now what? That's the big question, right? The non-resilient response is to spiral, to get bitter, to blame people, to feel like a victim. But the resilient response? It's to see this not as a failure, but as feedback. It's a data point you can use to recalibrate your compass and find a better path forward. And here's the playbook for turning that setback into a setup. First, feel the feeling. Be disappointed, be frustrated, but put a timer on it. Don't live there. Second, conduct a blame-free postmortem. What can I honestly learn from this? And third, define one small, purposeful action you can take right now, because action is the absolute antidote to despair. We have covered a ton of ground. We've laid a foundation, we've forged our armor, we've fueled the engine, and we've calibrated our compass. So now, let's bring it all together. Let's make this a personal vow, your own resilience manifesto. I will watch my stories, I will create a gap. I will protect my energy, I will seek the lesson. And above all, I am built not to break, but to bend.
Because here's the bottom line. The world is going to test you. That's a guarantee. Storms will come. The only thing you truly have control over is how you respond. You have the tools now. You have the power to choose strength, to choose calm, to choose growth. The only question left is how will you respond?